What's good, y'all? My name is Clyde, aka Archangel Zadell, and this is a video on antimatter and how antimatter spirits correlate and have relationships with not a matter spirit, but that's not what you would call it. You technically just call it a soul or a spirit or just a, regular angelic being. So any being in existence is naturally born, more so one or the other side, more so antimatter or more so light or soul. So with the soul, as you may know, and I may know, because of me being mainly half. So I've been blessed to be a person that's half antimatter and half spirit because of my awareness, and my awareness of knowledge has actually taken me to a place where I can be aware of different dimensional realities, and because of that, I have gained the awareness of two separate realities. Because of the Earth's awareness, it gained of the two realities and the birth of the new reality within this world that we have called home. So basically, I'm saying all that to say this information is just part of the full circle awakening of the entire world that we exist in. So a soul likes things straightforward, straightforward truth. Just, give it to me straight. What does it mean? So that means for a soul, if somebody is a origin soul, that would mean that they are somebody who needs things straightforward in communication. So if water is wet, then that's what it is. If fire is hot, that's what it is. If something is certain death, that's certain death. You just say what things are in the energetic frequency of those things. So now here's the trick. With an antimatter spirit, they actually do not hear certain words. Now what they hear will be various depending on who they are and what dimensional realm they're from and tapping into at the time. But it's basically gonna feel like to them like you're speaking silence at one point and then you have words. So if I were to do it, it'd be like, if I were saying like, hi, how are you? It'd be hi, R, slow. Then we get the hi and the R. Because I talked to a few different antimatter spirits personally. I was actually able to meet some that were pretty mature, and they actually told me that sometimes you say things and it feels like you turn your voice off. I was like, what do you mean? And then he was like, see me. I was like, oh, I know now. And he's like, yeah, I see. You know what I'm saying? It was like a spiritual connection where we both knew we could really understand each other at that point. So the basically so you can't worry about them not hearing certain words. You just have to speak basically off your heart. That's how you know how to communicate with antimatter spirit. You have to go off of your heart like you always do as a soul. If you are a soul to start, and now none of this is good or bad, none of this is evil or harmful, you know what I'm saying? It's just information. This is just what is. This is just part of life now. So that's why I'm sharing. So that means with the antimatter spirit, you want to speak from the heart. You have to say what you know you need to say, and you have to do what you know you need to do as a soul. Now, as an antimatter, you need to do exactly as you feel you should do, with no questions asked. The crazy thing is about antimatter spirits, they're actually so knowing. They're more knowing than is for their own good. Whereas, as a child and then as a soul, as we know, those people are going to be more naive as a child, more naive, and seem to grow wiser more so with age and experience. Whereas an antimatter spirit seems to grow more stupid or off the path or disconnected as they grow older or as you progress in your relationship. So if you are lucky enough to have a relationship with either of these spirits from the opposite perspective, then that means you need to cherish that time, and you need to trust everything about yourself at that time. Just because these two different energies come from different polarities, so things are going to be charged differently in the feelings and thoughts and actions, that doesn't mean that an overly aggressive hug and a couple curse words from somebody who means no harm and does no actual harm, even though they may startle you, that doesn't mean that they are, so aggressive that they are trying to be an attacker, or they are going to be later on. That's just how they learn. You can tell when a spirit comes from a completely different world. So this is literally the time that a birthday of a new world happened. Basically, an antimatter portal opened up and a new world was born within the world we have, coexisting as the world we have, with physical beings from each of the worlds coexisting. So this is a new way to learn oneness and understanding, even if there is significant disagreements. Starting to rain, y'all. So this may be one of the times where disagreements are at a high, but personal feelings, personal growth, bonds themselves, the quality of bonds will grow exponentially, but the clicking up of people will happen even more, where circles will be even smaller. Rarely you will see people with groups of more than 10 these days, just because of the conflict of energies in the auric field of the electromagnetic charges of the polarities, and the ratio of people who have either shifted their awareness to the duality of the oneness polarity, that we are in as a universe right now, or they, you know, are lost in some form of thinking and feeling in some way. So this is really to say that the rain feels amazing. Damn. I love anything. Anything at the right time is the right time for anything. And that's the mindset you gotta have. But so one of the best things to do right now is to literally just follow your heart, no matter who you are. Whatever you feel like you should do is what you should do, no matter what anybody else's perception or even your perception of doing that thing is. If your main desire right now is to jump in a pond like that, and then you walk up to the pond, you feel just as comfortable with that thought, looking in that pond, jump in the pond. You never know. You may walk out of the pond glowing. So this is to say, we need everybody here that's here. Everything has a purpose. So just because you feel like things are out of place, that doesn't mean they're actually out of place. Sometimes things are perfect when they seem their worst. And that's something we have to learn. And that's probably going to be one of the biggest lessons for people until they learn that as a whole, so we can be one being who knows that in more so totality, until it's total. So just understand there are people who are shifting to this perspective and who are lost in one of the two perspectives of soul and antimatter. You know, do I do this? Do I do that? Oh no, that's good. Oh no, that's bad. Just know things are good or bad from whatever perspective you're looking at. You just gotta know there's a good and bad in everything. It's yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest lessons we've learned in the past. So never forget that. So never be scared of anything that's happening. But if you're an antimatter soul, you're gonna feel scared all the time. And you're gonna know that's a bad thing to do. But it's just what you have to do. You know, antimatters have to do bad things. Souls only want good things. But in the end, we all end up working for the same source. So that's really just sums it all up. And I want everybody to, you know, do whatever the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do something, there's a reason you don't want to do it. So trust yourself. And always show love to those who need the love. And always be a mirror for those who need to see what they've done to the world they are. And that way, you can continue to grow and apply more knowledge. And then once we apply more knowledge, there's always going to be more knowledge to apply and more growth to be had. But that's the best part of life, you know? The best part of life is constantly growing and learning so we can become the best thing we could possibly be. The best thing we could possibly be is this. So let's get it. Yeah. You know, I think so. Matter of fact, I know so, because I am.